and welcome to this new video for my channel, The Mental Traveler. I'm Caro Herrera and today I'm going to be reviewing a book called A King's Ransom. It was written by Sharon Kay Penman and published in 2014, and it is the fifth and last book in her Plantagenet Dynasty series, which consists of When Christ and His Saints Slept, Time and Chance, Devil's Brood, and Lionheart. The author also wrote the fabulous Welsh Princess trilogy, which can be considered a sort of sequel to this series I'm talking about, and you can find the links to my review for all of these novels in the description box below. Before I begin though, let me just say that this will be a video with spoilers, since I don't feel that I can give a proper review of the last installment of a series that's meant so much to me without going into details. But in any case, A King's Ransom is historical fiction, so I won't really be spoiling anything big, since it's all based on historical facts. Still, if you haven't read the series, or if you're not that aware for the Plantagenets who are and don't want to be spoiled, beware. Okay, so I've loved Sharon Kay Penman now for years, ever since I first read her Sun in Splendor novel, which deals with the life of Richard III. But despite the fact that I love her writing, that I love history, that I am a royalist and an Anglophile, it wasn't until the summer of 2019 that I decided it was high time I read all of her other works. And I had hesitated because I wasn't familiar with what happened during the Middle Ages, but someone here on YouTube encouraged me to read the author's Welsh Princess trilogy. I listened to her, I completely fell in love with those three books, and then I decided to read the Plantagenet series from July 2019 to December of that year. That's all I was reading. But yes, as I mentioned in my review of Lionheart, the book that comes before A King's Ransom, I was a bit hesitant to read these two books because I wasn't that keen on Richard I, also known as Richard the Lionheart, and these novels, he was the protagonist. And I actually hated him after reading Devil's Brood and what he was like and what he did to his father. But in the end, I was starving for more of Sharon Kay Penman's works, so I decided to give Lionheart and A King's Ransom a try, and I am happy to report that they were quite surprisingly pleasant reading experiences. Lionheart deals with the first years of King Richard's reign and his adventures during the Third Crusade in the Holy Land. A King's Ransom picks up right after Richard has left the Holy Land, but instead of having a peaceful journey back to his domains, he's shipwrecked, he meets pirates, he ends up on the run, a hunted fugitive on his enemy's lands, he's caught and imprisoned, then he's released, and we get to see what he did during the latter part of his reign and during his final days. And that novel also covers the aftermath of the Lionheart's demise. I give A King's Ransom a 4 out of 5 stars review because it was a very exciting book to read. One that not only kept on teaching me who Richard I was, but actually changed my initial perception of him. And he's still far from being my favorite royal historical figure ever. And I still prefer his brother John for some reason. But when I was reading Devil's Brood, like I said previously, I seriously loathed Richard because of the way he behaved towards his father Henry II. But I would have never imagined that when we come to his death scene in A King's Ransom, I will be crying my heart out. But that's exactly what happened, and that's all a testament to the author's fantastic, powerful writing abilities to help us change our perceptions of characters. And since this is the last book in the series, it was also a very rewarding read because we get to see the conclusion of all of the other family members of the Plantagenet dynasty. Also, A King's Ransom is just good because, for example, I was on the edge of my seat during the bits where Richard was on the run, and I thought the author did a pretty good job of understanding who Richard was, why he did the things he did, and I absolutely love the fact that the author explored Richard's PTSD, which is a subject that's always interested me. And also, talking about Richard, the author has said that back when she was writing Here Be Dragons, my favorite book by her, in the 80s, she didn't really know that much about Richard, so she didn't really portray him that sympathetically, but her perception of him has changed the more she researches his life, and she manages to make her readers change their mind as well through her book. But yes, moving on, some other things that I enjoyed about King's Ransom were Eleanor and Richard's relationship. Eleanor is his mother, Eleanor of Aquitaine. Eleanor as a character, because she's seriously one of the most remarkable queens who's ever lived. I love the love story of Joanna, their Eleanor's daughter, and the author's plot for her original character, Ranulph. I was expecting him to visit Wales at some point so that we could accompany him back with his parents, who were major characters in the author's previous works. But in the end, the author didn't go down that road. Still, I encourage you to read A King's Ransom for all of these things, and because it is a worthy conclusion of Penman's Plantagenet Dynasty series. Also, the author wrote 4 mystery novels set in the court of Eleanor of Aquitaine, so I'm gonna be reviewing them over the following weeks. But yes, Anyways, for the moment I believe that this is all I have to say about A King's Ransom. Thank you so much for watching my review of it. Please let me know if you enjoyed it or not, as well as what are your own thoughts on this book, this period in time, these historical characters, the author, because I would love to talk about it all with you. In the description box below, you can find a link to the book's Goodreads page, as well as a link to all of my reviews for the Plantagenet series. And well, yes. Anyways, I'm Caro Herrera, the Mental Traveler, and I hope you have a wonderful day wherever you're in the world. I'll be seeing you soon. Goodbye.